episode 18. Guys, I've got a little bit of a story time apology / explanation to go over with you. There was no episode last week. I'm not sure who all is keeping exact score, but that would be the first week since the server launched in July, beginning of July, that I haven't done my one weekly episode. There was, there was 1 week where I had done a short. I'll put like quotes on that, a short. So I technically got an episode out. It was really just some screenshots and explanation, but last week I completely took a week off, and I know I always thought it was really strange how when I would watch content creators, they would apologize, and it's like, no biggie, like, it's totally okay, life happens, and now I find myself wanting to apologize. It's something that IRL kind of came in full swing at me. The most prevalent thing that happened is that I interviewed for a new position at the job. My IRL job that I have currently, there is a step higher in the management supervisory rung than what I currently am working. So I did apply for that, and I kind of took a week off to allow my real life stress not to directly impact me in the game. So if you were curious what happened, I'll show you where we're at now. So I wanted to kind of refresh because it's been so long and we're starting a new month that I felt like it was time for a little bit of an explanation. So we are on the command tower. This is the center of our nether hub, which is going to be one of the last projects that I hope to get a little bit more completed even. And it's going to branch out to each of the islands. Now, the funny thing is, most of the islands are going to be, from the looks of this, almost within render distance. So, the very first island that we did in August, I apologize, man, I hit record and thought I was ready. The White Mana Island was in August. Then we moved in September to the Blue Mana Island. And then this last month, we just finished wrapping up October in the Black Mana Island, the swamp. And then, right there, you may happen to notice all this new magma that's just chilling on top of the server, on top of the nether roof. And this actually is our next month project. So each month, we're moving to a new island. Yeah, I should have saw that coming. And after this month, we're going to go that way just a little bit. So the next Mana Island after this is the very last one is going to be Forest, and it's just going to be a little bit over that way. So most of the Nether Hub is all within view distance. So it's not going to be like a super crazy, excessive, like network system up here, but I do hope to get at least the center area kind of cleaned up and have some cool portals. So I don't know that we'll do the mana symbols. That's going to be excessive for some of these, but we'll find something cool and thematic to kind of tie it together. So let me take you in to what the month of November is going to look like. We'll go over a little bit of the plan for the island. Now this island is, red is the mountains in Magic the Gathering. So we're going to use the terrain that's already generated here. Had some of the steepest areas to work in. Also, wait, hold on. What is this? Did somebody put lights down here? Oh, someone put a torch down here. That was distracting. No, it's supposed to be dark and ominous and scary. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, so you can see that there's this big, like, cavern here. We're actually not going to be using the cavern so much. Just starting with the hills that are here. So a couple things is that there's kind of two main land masses. We'll call them two main land masses. So there's going to be two primary build areas. So we'll start with this area. This will probably be the easiest to explain. And this is actually the only project I've done so far yet. I started, whoops, there was a bit of island that I thought, yeah, I saw an XP orb. There was a bit of island right here that was not Mushroom Island. It did become, like, I think it was Plains, maybe? But because it was attached to this, we didn't want mobs spawning, so I started digging it down and making it really shallow, like so that it just kind of isn't gonna like just be flat. Like didn't want to dig it down and just leave it flat under the water. So I've got to come back here and clean this up in a minute, but let's show you this whole island here. We're going to raise up and make it look rocky and mountainous and slightly more exaggerated terrain to kind of match more this side that's steeper, higher inclines. And then what we're going to do is we're basing this month on the plane of Magic the Gathering called Tarkir, and it has a lot of Eastern like architecture and influences. So if you think about it, think of like monks and monasteries. Is kind of the build style that we're hoping to achieve. I have no idea why there's XP orbs everywhere. No clue. So please ignore that. But we're going to build up the center of the island, and then we're going to have like a monastery complex that's like built into the hills is the plan. With like some outlying buildings that are not connected, and even some like nomadic kind of tent campsite areas to hopefully kind of tie the idea together. Is that this, you know, they have like a central location that they meet, and then they also go and explore the world, that they're not all necessarily staying there all the time. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This is a horrible explanation. I appreciate y'all for staying with me. Now, the other thing is you'll notice that does not look quite like normal terraforming. I did the same thing there that I'm working on back where the beacon is. So that's much more like what it's going to look like when I clear out the kind of bank that's holding back the water. And so we're gonna do more custom terraforming, but I call this like my preliminary draft, my rough. So we're gonna hopefully make everything look very rocky and stony. And then this whole side over here, where, let me get up in the air, it'll be easier. Jumping up this thing is really hard. This side is, as you notice, it kind of goes like flat right here, kind of in these like 3 or 4 blocks. We're gonna expand it out and make it match kind of this shape that this side has, where it's kind of like rounded out. And guess what? It's gonna be a dormant volcano. So pretty much kind of like right where I'm standing will be the central part of the volcano, and so it'll come out a little ways. And then there'll be like fissures and cracks of magma, and I'm really struggling, guys. Sorry, so sorry. I thought I was in the mood to record, but my body's like, nah, you need a whole nother week. Yeah, sus. So we're gonna have the fissures and cracks that like run out, little rivulets of lava and magma that go all the way down into the ocean, hopefully. And then, guys, my favorite part about this whole island is what Mr. Inhumane is helping us plan for this peak right here. We are gonna have a ginormous dragon. A dragon was the first organic shape that I tried to build freehand in survival, and it did not go well. So that kind of brings us to the final point about this month. So we're already on, I think it's the 9th today? I'm pretty sure. So it's already the 9th. Why is nothing built in this world? Well, that's because we are taking a much more community-based approach to this island, where we are not marking out the builds over here and then letting people choose build plots. We're all going to be pitching in together to come up with the design of the monastery. And now Bowie, Pants, and Gearju, I've seen each one of them testing different build stuff out on the creative server. Bowie's done, I think, probably the most work because he's familiar with World Edit, so he's done a lot of, excuse me, don't interrupt, that's very rude. He's done a lot of like trying to get the terraforming right for us, and oh my gosh, Bo and Gearju and Pants are such good builders. Like, it's going to be so cool to see all of their different elements come together. So what I'm going to do, I think right now, real quick, is I'm going to finish cleaning up my area here. I'm going to do a little bit more patchwork. There's some really weird just like odd terraforming that I'm just going to clean up just so that it's really easy to work in this area so we don't like fall into ravines or have something that looks like really dumb looking. So I'm going to clean that up, and then what I'll do is I'll bring you back and show you guys, hi, all the wonderful fails. I will show you guys kind of the creative process in the creative server. So we'll be back shortly.
And welcome back. I found out that my mic was set to the wrong source for the last recording bit. So apparently I take a week off and I forget how to completely operate. Instead of recording that intro, I'll just apologize now. I'm just shaking off the dust, and I don't want to like set myself any further back, because I have a lot of information to go over, and I want to get going. Like, I'm actually finally feeling motivation and inspiration for this island. So, as I mentioned, we're approaching this month differently, and so yes, we're back in the creative world. I'm trying not to spoil anything. There's a build there that was a test build for the blue island, and then a big boxy shape to my right. But I'm like, the most important stuff is directly in front of me. So let me show you what the Hourglass members and myself, actually, thankfully, finally, I've been feeling motivated. So I got to help with some of this. I have done like a fraction of it, like a teeny tiny little bit, but I'm still like, I feel like we're good. We've got a lot of ideas flowing. We've got the primary shapes and like positions of the terrain forming, and Bowie doesn't know that I'm recording right now, so he's just chilling. He's primarily been the one that got us started. As I mentioned, he's very, or I think I mentioned, I might have said this in stream. I'm losing track of what I've said in stream and what I've said in the episodes. But he has done a really good job of getting the terrain started because he's the most familiar with World Edit, or not World Edit. Oh frick, I don't even remember what the mod is called. No, yeah, it's MC Edit, I think. Oh man, I'll put a description. I'll put it in the description what the actual word is, because I always forget and I always have to be reminded. So this is actually the bigger of the two islands that I just showed you guys, where this like tail end of it goes off over to where the dragon and volcano island is gonna be. But basically what we have is a huge thank you to Bowie for getting us started, and then for Boanne did this like front gatehouse design. I'm not sure if she did both, like, did the towers and then put the build in the middle. I saw her screenshot of one of the towers, and it was the very first like actual build we had for the server, and for like the build area, and it was so impressive to see. And I said thank you for like taking my crazy idea and like being able to interpret it into Minecraft builds. And so we've got that, and then because they had such a good start, I came in and I started working on the next, like the building inside, and you'll notice that I'm starting to use a lot of like the detail elements that Bo had incorporated, so to give us a little bit of cohesion between the builds. And then I think what I'm going to do is take some roof elements from what Bowie's doing up here. This is just like amazing. Like, I am so blown away by what everyone can do. So basically you'll see the builds are all kind of in different states of completion. Like, I have exactly no roof. I could probably do a little bit more detailing. And then there's some builds that are just kind of like skeletons. Like, we kind of marked out the rough shapes we want for them, so there'll be two interconnecting builds that touch this one and the big one. And then there's some spaces that we haven't even touched yet. There was a kind of an outline here. I think that's what got moved over there, or maybe that was the really big one that was in the center. I'm not sure what happened to this, but basically this idea was scrapped. But there are so many like parts and framework that are coming in. So I'm just gonna do like a quick once around to show you guys kind of like the in between. So a lot of this is and let me give credit to the other person who has a completed project. Gearju made these towers. Now I'm not sure, he had them set over here, and oh my gosh guys, this is like this is the, I'll call it the graveyard of ideas. I don't know that I like the word graveyard because I'm gonna try to fit everything in to the island, and at least some aspects of everything, but like everybody came over here to this side and is just like putting down their ideas. Now my very first attempt made me very sad, so I just said, yuck, ignore. Oh, wait, someone came back and, aw, that's sweet. I was having trouble until I actually worked. I just started working directly in the map area we had, but like Bo was able to just like build amazing things. This came from, I think, Bowie's single player world, where he had a similar style. And then, oh, this was the build that was on the empty plateau now. So we still have it. And then this was what I came over for originally, is Gearju's working on crazy towers. So I scooped up his build here and put it in. I haven't been able to talk with him, and he hasn't been on yet. So I don't know if like he had a place for this, but I thought it would work really well as like a path to transition up the mountain. Now I did Bowie and I were talking about this, and I said zigzag, and so like the path up the mountain, so he zigzagged. But as you can see, everything's kind of in like partial state, so we got a lot more planning and a lot more designing to do, but a lot of this is going to go in. I think several of the players, myself included, I do really well. Like I said, once I got into the build atmosphere, I started having more bursts of creativity, especially when I could draw from the builds around me to help make the area look really cohesive. So I think one of the things that's really going to help is we are actually going to start putting this in world, even though not everything's complete. There's a lot of grindy block placements to do in order to get the terraforming kind of at a point where we can still build. So we are pretty deep into the month already to not have any blocks placed in world. So I think that's what's going to start today. And the very last thing I will point out is the reason why my inventory looks this way is because I'm learning these tools. And there was a rough amount of terraforming at this front side, but I pretty much did all of this terraforming on this side with these tools. So the wooden axe is like a wand tool. It lets you select your areas. The golden shovel I have is a smoothing tool. Now I'm gonna do something that's gonna look terrible, and then I'm gonna undo it probably. But like basically when you click on it, oh wait, why did it not work? This area is not smooth, I promise. Now my tools aren't working. Oh, because I logged out. Dang it, I was gonna show off my tools and what they do in the world, but I gotta not be dumb and do it all in like sequence. But basically, so it basically smooths it out, so it would like fill in a couple blocks around there to give it more of a smooth look. And then this one had been doing little bits of the mix block. So sorry that I can't show you. I didn't realize logging would reset my tools. I'm still learning. So next time, I think we'll be working on more details up there for the terrain. So when I get my tools reset, I'm not gonna try it now because it takes half a minute for me. I have notes, and for percentages and stuff, I'm not really great at doing it. But basically, okay, I'm rambling now. But basically, still got some fine tuning to do where it looks like there's just big, like chunks and stuff. We want it to look really organic, really natural. So I think this is what I'm gonna do for my next project on stream. I don't know. I'll try to do a time lapse of it. I don't know how well it'll work because, like I said, it's really just grindy block placement, and we're not gonna probably do the whole island in one stream. But I will be having some help. I know Pants is eager to just, mindlessly place blocks, as he said. So we're going to get the schematics loaded up so that we can get the base of the mountains into the world today. So hopefully, if I have the opportunity, you'll see a time lapse next. Otherwise, I'll bring you back in for just a progress update on what we're able to get done and into the real world. So the real world. So we'll be right back. Welcome back from the time lapse, guys. As you can see behind me, we got some stuff done. We got some blocks in the world, and even since the end of my time lapse, I just signed in, and Blink just signed in too. That was crazy timing. It looks like possibly Bowie. Excuse you, Bowie and. Do we have a friend underneath the island? I think we have a wandering trader underneath. Yes, we didn't fill it in. Shh, it's our little secret. And the dude down there is possibly gonna give it away. But it looks like Bowie's been hard at work, and or Blink, and or both. I'm betting Bowie. I left Bowie when I signed off at the end of my stream. So it looks like he's working on setting up some of the other kind of boundaries for the other builds. Oh no! Oh no! What is it with this? I always get rated by recordings! Lame! Ouch. Lame. So let's get up in the air. I don't have very many rockets left, but look at this! Oh my god, it's so cool to see it start taking shape so fast. So our part here took about, we'll say 2 hours. We had problems with schematic placement, which is hilarious because my go live for my Twitch stream was, I've got a schematic and I know how to use it. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. So we had a little bit of trouble. So had to start and stop the build, and you'll see here, in this section, there's like the 3 blocks across, of the path blocks. It doesn't quite line up over here. So we're going to, we decided it's okay. It's cool. Basically what we did was my section is removed from this section, and there was no planned builds on this side. So we're just going to like start breaking apart the path anyway, and make it a little bit more natural to begin with. Also, how did you get up? Oh, you must have spawned down here where all the shulkers are. I'm so confused. I'm so confused and so distracted. I hope this isn't catching. I hope I don't make you guys all distractible and ADD with me. I think, though, the episode actually got a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, because I do tend to waffle, which I was getting better at before I took my, week-long break. So I'll get back into the swing and be able to talk more concisely and show the cool things off better. But for now, I think I'm going to leave you here since it's raining and I don't really have anything else to show you. Other than we got some building done, we got some terraforming in, and now we get to start dressing it up, since this is just kind of the groundwork. We got the groundwork laid. Oh yeah, I just figured out my title. Okay, all right, for real. Thank you everybody so much for your continued support of this series and the server. We'll catch you later.